Welcome to Stitches and Sundries. This is our fiber knitting and crochet podcast. We're on episode 23.
Yes, we're really rolling along.
We are. So we're here to talk to you about knitting, crochet, and sometimes fibery goodness.
Yep.
I'm Devynn.
I'm Lauren.
I can be found on Instagram as Devynn_no loose ends.
And I'm Lauren Upstitching on Instagram. Interesting.
I feel like I always stress so much through intro.
The intro is just annoying. It's like, I mean, it's good to do. It makes sense. Like, we get new people watching. Good to introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
And tell what we're about. But it's like, get all that information out. Then we can be dorks.
Then we can be normal.
Yeah.
So, since you mentioned it, if you're new here, we're so happy that you decided to join us today.
Yes.
If you're a returning viewer, woohoo!
Thank
I'm
you for
glad
coming
you
back.
stayed through the hot mess show that we put together.
Yeah.
Because we are a wreck. Just,
I mean, if the end of our last episode is anything to go on, like, there's a lead.
you dipped your fingers in your tea.
Yeah, I was trying to reach for something, just put my hand in my teacup. Like, no, we're done. We're done.
We just are human. We're just here.
We're just here.
So,
we're here to share fun crochet and knitting and fibery goodness with you all.
yes, all that stuff. So what have you been up to? Do a little, like, chitty chat?
Do a little chitty chat. I talked about starting my new job in my last, in our last floss tube episode. But other than that, we have been, my sister is taking some classes. And so we have been just trying to wrangle the animals out of the office so she can take her classes because they will not leave her alone.
Oh.
For some reason, her sitting down at the desk is like the call to every animal to come.
Now she's
like,
doing medical coding.
Yeah, she's taking classes for medical coding. And so it takes an amount of concentration, and having a cat that wants to get in your lap while you're doing that is a little difficult. Other than that, we bought a bunch of video games on the Steam sale. And so that's taken some time.
What games have you been playing?
So I love like civilization building games.
Mm-hmm. That's what I like.
We got Dawn of Man.
Oh.
And it's so good. It's so good. And we play it together. We play it like communally. Like, this is our village. And I usually am the controller, but Sarah's like, you haven't hunted in a while. You better go hunting right now. Do a scan. What's in our area? So we have to go scan, and because you have to have enough hides to build buildings to do and so. And you move your people through the ages. So you start in the Neolithic era, I think, and you move all the way up to the Iron Age.
Cool.
So right now we just got our people out of like hide tents and into thatched cottages. We are moving up in the world.
You know, okay, so I have been playing a lot of video games this past week. I'm playing Medieval Dynasty.
Ooh.
And that one is it's in a beta mode still. So it's
got some jank to it.
It's got some stuff, but nothing that makes it not playable. And right. I love it. It's my jam. So it is, when you play Dawn of Man, are you playing as a person who has to manage the whole town? Or are you overview?
We're the gods of our town. Yeah.
So like I have always played overview style, and in Medieval Dynasty, you're one guy, but you still manage a village. Like I build a village, I manage a village, but I physically have to go out and hunt and bring back the food and then make the food in the tavern and put the food in the food storage building, and I have to build the buildings and I have to farm the land until people like me enough. And there's a whole flirting mechanic, because like part of the game of Dynasty that I feel like I've watched a lot of videos about this game and nobody talked about was, so your purpose, and this may not sit well with everyone, is to go out and get a wife, because building a dynasty is having heirs.
Right.
So
that's why nobody saw you. Everybody's like, that's a little weird.
I have put 3 years into my character's life of flirting with a woman. And finally she loved me. I gave her silver earrings and she loves me. And now she's my wife. And
so you guys are like, you're basically trying to build the British Empire from one dude.
So, but what's really cool in this game is once you have a wife and once you two have a baby and the baby's old enough, if you die in game, you come back as the baby. as your kid.
Makes
So
sense.
you have a Dynasty. I thought that was a really cool.
This might be on my list.
I thought that was a really cool mechanic.
That is a cool mechanic.
And
the idea of like being the like quote unquote mayor of a small town to try and build your legacy, to try and build it into cities, to try and build it into an empire.
Ugh. The money mechanics of the game, I am struggling to make money. Oh. I am really, because like I'm just starting out and I basically have nothing, and I have tried. I've watched a few people play the game, but I'm trying to not watch anybody tutorialize me on the game. I'm trying to figure all the things out. But I watched people play it before so I could figure out if this would be a game for me.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Anyway,
that's how games
fell
end up
in
on my
love,
wish list.
and that's why I have next to no real knitting updates. Because in our knitting episode today, guys, I've not worked on a single one of my existing whips. But I have a mini finish parade for you.
Yeah, I mean, you've worked on your whips, but you've done stuff.
So you guys can blame Medieval Dynasty for my lack of knitting content.
I have no real people to blame. I just have not been that productive. I finished a piece in our floss tube, our cross stitch episode. I finished a piece that has been weighing on me for a little while, and I was just like, put everything else aside, get this done, get it off your plate. And once I got that done, I really did not have a lot of time left. But
yeah.
But I have updates.
So I'll start with my finishes.
Finish parade.
It's going to be a little bit of a parade here. So,
hit us.
Finish number 1. You guys have never seen this. Is a headband.
This headband's so cute, though.
It is really cute. And I don't know if you guys, I want you to see that little knot detail.
That knot detail is really good.
And I didn't weave in ends because I like to block things before I weave in the ends.
Makes sense.
And yeah, so I know I don't usually get that step done before podcast day. So, anywho, this is a fingering weight and mohair headband. It is super soft, super cozy.
Very soft. I love the purple too, like that coloring. It's really beautiful.
The yarn, well, let me tell you the pattern first. I guess I should start at the beginning, right?
Start at the beginning.
So, hang on, I gotta look this one up because I haven't been knitting on it forever, so I don't remember the pattern. And I put it in my little book. And you guys, I'm gonna show you my book. Now listen, I'm an elementary artist.
I love these though.
So this is I have a couple of these. They're just field notebooks. And I really like them because these things can take a beating. Because my other one that I filled up with all my yarn scraps, I spilled a whole cup of water on. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. So this pattern is the Frida headband, and I didn't write down the designer because I'm a good person. Yeah, I didn't write it down. So
it'll be linked below.
It'll be linked below, as always. It is double stockinette, which I really, really love the texture and feel of. I do not love knitting it as much, but you don't have to purl when you do double stockinette. You just slip the stitch purl-wise, which is really nice. So I actually started this project in January of 2020, right before, like all the COVID crazy hit. And I specifically started this project to take to knit nights because we had started a knit club, crochet club, fiber club, craft club, whatever, a stitching bitch club. That's what we called it. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I said knit club. But anyway, we started this club and we were going and having meetings. We had 3 in-person meetings before COVID.
Yep.
And I was taking this to the ones that I made it to. Then COVID happened and I put that aside and our meetings didn't happen and I never picked it up again. So, at the beginning of this year, in one of our earlier episodes, I had mentioned trying to go through all of my whips and updating things and just like finishing off some last minute projects.
Yeah, like basically deciding, is it worth finishing or should I frog it?
Yeah. So this is what I decided to finish. So all that was just to tell you, this headband took 1.5 years to
No, it didn't. It's very pretty though.
It is very pretty. And this is going to go in a basket that I'm collecting of things that I'm going to be gifting to people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not keeping it for myself. Are you surprised?
I am, because you do like headbands.
I do like headbands.
And that's in your color range.
It is, and I should keep it for me, but I thought it would be a good gift too.
It is a good little gift. If a girl needs a gift, bam.
Yeah. So it's just gonna go there. Yeah. And then if I decide after Christmas that and nobody needed this, then I will keep it for me.
Yeah. Perfect.
So that's that. But I have more finishes.
Oh, she's been on roll, guys.
Okay. So this
ooh
is another bankhead hat that I knit, and
that's just your go-to pattern, isn't it?
It is my go-to for worsted weight for now. I have a couple of reasons for that. One, it's a free pattern and I have knit it and I'm kind of comfortable with it, with worsted weight yarn. Mm-hmm. But that's probably the main reason.
It's also just a good utility hat pattern.
It makes a good hat pattern for men because, like the cables, the guys I knit for, they just don't want that. This is for a child size though. Not little, but it's an adult small. So there's not a lot of stretch here. I knit the smaller cast on. It will still fit your head because it fits mine, but it is kind of tight. Like you can
have
feel
a little noggin.
Can you feel how tight it is though?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of.
Yeah. So it should fit a smaller noggin, and I didn't knit it as deep as I usually. Usually I go to 8 inches, which is how the pattern says. I went to 7.5. Anyway, last episode I knit this exact basically hat with the same yarn and everything, and that's what I gave to my nephew.
Oh yeah, we had to put a picture in because you gave it away.
Yeah. So now here you can see it looked just like this, except for the color change here went higher. And in the bankhead pattern, she has you do 3 inches of this twisted rib, and I didn't have 3 inches of this dark blue yarn, so I just did the ribbing until I ran out.
And it looks perfect.
And it's fine. Yeah. So anyway, this is another just Christmas gift knit. So I kind of had a little bit of a panic about a week ago and said, oh, I kind of want to knit a whole bunch of things for Christmas so I can knock some of those Christmas gifts out of the park. And then because Christmas time, there's things I want to do. Like I really want to do Christmas Eve cast on. I really want to knit cute little Christmas decorations for me. Yeah. So I usually end up knitting 4 Christmas gifts all the way through January. So I'm trying to be proactive. To
get ahead of that.
And doing the little Christmas in July. So I'm glad
I'm not the only one that has anxiety breakdowns about crafting.
So then, I got some string here. There's 2 more. No, I have more finishes after this. So everything.
We'll do these together.
Well, I have more after these 2 though.
Oh, geez Louise.
So everything I did was small projects. So these are pretty quick to knock out. But let me see. I don't remember the pattern here. I did 2 dishcloths because I have a woman who loves to receive knitted dishcloths. And this is the traditional dishcloth pattern by Stacy Perry, Very Pink Knits. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. And I used to knit these US size 6 straight aluminum needles. And I have not knit on straight aluminum needles in a long time. But I love knitting a dishcloth on straight needles. I don't like to knit them on the circulars. It's harder on my hands and just causes some strain. So this is just a quick dishy pattern. Yeah.
I love the colors too.
Didn't weave in ends because I like to wash them first and then weave in.
Now these are cotton. What's the brand of cotton?
So this one is just peaches and cream. Don't know the color, but it's a very common green color from the peaches and cream. This one is
so
different. I got that cotton yarn at Rhinebeck in 2019, and it is Artisanal Yarns. They're on Facebook. and they make this really cool cotton yarn, which if you...
Yeah, marled.
It's got a string in it, which makes it kind of extra... It doesn't feel scratchier, but it adds a little scrub to the cloth. And it is like... I don't know how many plies. I guess this is 4 ply for the dishy. The peaches and cream, just from Walmart. But this sucker is like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ply.
Yeah.
It is a substantially
thicker
cotton, and it feels a lot nicer. I think
she's gonna be like, can I have more of these? And you're like, no.
I do have 2 more full skeins of this, not in this color, but this kind of green stuff is, she says that's her color, so that's why I did these.
Yeah.
The other one I have is like a denim blue. So I didn't knit those for her, but I mean, if she asks for them, I will. I don't care. But I'm just trying to give her like a little dishcloth set, even though they don't match. She doesn't care. She loves the cotton dishcloths. So, got a chew done. Wait, there's more.
Wait, it's never ending.
There's only one more though.
Okay, I know what this one is then.
This one is my little guy. Okay, so in addition to spending the past 2 weeks, kind of worried about like knitting for Christmas, one of the other Christmassy obligations that I put on myself, nobody puts this on me, is there is a local organization.
This is a good obligation to put on yourself.
That does, it's called Festival of Trees, and our Dove Center, which is the domestic violence victims organization. Yeah. They put on the Festival of Trees, which is where people in the community will decorate a tree or a wreath or a centerpiece. Or I also saw they have gingerbread houses.
What? That's adorable.
Yeah. So you decorate something and then they auction off
you donate this.
You donate the thingy and they will auction it off. And then the money all goes to the Dove Center.
Right.
So I have always done something small. Last year, our group did a whole tree, but it wasn't auctioned off. Because of COVID, they just did like little bidding. So at the end of it, we got all our decorations back, which was nice.
Right.
This year, it will be auctioned off.
Right.
So what we're making, we don't get back.
Right.
But look what I made, guys.
Look at that little sweater.
I made a tiny sweater.
So we're planning to do a wreath, I think. That's what we decided on.
We decided on a large wreath.
And it needs decorated with all kinds of little adorable Christmassy things. Our theme is Santa's laundry. And so we're going to do little sweaters and mittens and pajamas and underwears and bubbles.
Hopefully
and
some boots.
Boots. Yeah, all kinds of little things. Felting would probably be perfect for boots.
Yeah.
And then it will all be auctioned off. And it's also a bit of a competition. Like whoever makes the most in their auction, from the auction in each category gets a little prize.
Yes, there is a prize.
But that's not really the point. Well, the point is the competition makes everybody go above and beyond.
Yeah.
And so you get these beautiful trees. Like, beautiful.
It is gorgeous.
It's a lot of fun, and it's for very good cause.
So I made one ornament for a little wreath because we're doing the is it Santa's laundry or Christmas laundry?
I can't remember.
I don't know.
One of the two.
Some sort of theme. We'll come up with a name at the end. But what I thought we could do with the wreath is if we do from like point to point little lines.
Oh yeah, like
we could do little clothespin laundry lines. We might have to like do some rigmarole to make sure those clothespins stick. Like maybe glue the clothespin to the line. Yeah. So they're not removable. Yeah. But yeah, I thought it'd be really cute to do like a ziggy-zaggy.
I think that would be really cute.
Of the little laundry. And then we could do like bubbles in the wreath or something.
Yeah. There's some fun, that's a fun theme, and it's going to have lots of fun pieces.
So I made one little knit sweater, and this pattern is, hang on, let me check my little book. Tiny Sweater by Miriam Felton. And look, I drew it in my book. I knit this on US ones, and the yarn I used is no idea. I used 3 grams of yarn though, so it doesn't take much. And I did do, like, it is knit like a traditional raglan style sweater. Like, it has
That's really cute.
Little increases right here, so it's top down. It's really fiddly to knit, I will be honest. It's kind of fiddly, but anything done this tiny
Anything done that tiny, yeah. That's what I was thinking. That scale's gonna make it.
Love it. Yeah. It was fun to knit. It's cute. It's not something, so I normally knit like outside on the porch. Don't do that because when your stitch markers fall, they're gone and lost forever. Had a few casualties. And because it's so fiddly, when you're doing those increases, they were falling off at different as I was getting to them. And yeah, it was just, ugh. So then along the same line, I'll do this little whip because it goes with it. So, did I write this one down? I think I did. Okay, so I decided along with my knitted sweater, I would do a little crochet one. I am a novice crocheter. I made a few things. I've made a shawl. I've made some hats.
So you decided, I'll do the tiniest sweater on earth. That's the next step.
That's the next thing. And I'm not good at things in the round. And you guys might be able to see how janky my little,
your little
join is, how it kind of goes diagonal. Yeah, I was adding stitches. I don't know what I was doing. It's fine. It's an ornament.
It's an ornament?
Nobody's going to care about that.
Nope.
I did sleeves, but because I was doing that, adding a stitch at my join, I ended up having a bell-shaped sleeve that was much larger than the sweater, so I had to pull it back out.
Right.
This is crocheted with single ply yarn that's just left over from, actually I think this is left over from a Find Your Fade shawl that I did at one point.
Oh, yeah.
This yarn is not forgiving to ripping out because of the single ply and the, it's super, woolly.
Yeah, it's catching.
It's 100% merino, so it's not super wash.
Yeah.
It is not forgiving to having to be pulled out. And so the first time I pulled the sleeve out, I actually had to rip it a couple times. So that was not fun. But I'm going to have Lauren help me learn how to join with crochet a little better because I'm struggling. Oh my gosh. That is all of my finishes.
You did it.
I did it.
Take a break. Take a mini break.
What do you got?
I have 2 whip updates. They're not huge, like I said, but I have them. So I figured. I was actually going to be like, it's not enough to show. And then I realized if you don't show what you got, you're not going to have anything. So this is my beautiful flowy thing.
I need it.
This is Le Nom de la Rose. I bought it from LVN on Ravelry. And I'm now to the point, I've very recently finished out my skein. So I'm on my second skein. And it's so pretty. I mean, it is so pretty.
It is very pretty.
And it's going to be about the size of my dining room table when I'm done. So if you want to wear this as a circle shawl, you totally could.
I think so. Look at that. It is so pretty. And there you can see like that. I don't know. Maybe on the wall. I don't know. Maybe down here. I don't know. You can kind of see that. You can see this, right?
Yes. I'm going to hold it up here closer too. One of the things I'm to the point where I'm getting a little annoyed with this pattern.
Oh
no. Not hugely. Is
it because you're doing that fillet?
So there, if you can see, I've added a couple more rows into the rows now, and you can kind of see that, and you can see that daisy down there. I'm going to put it over my sleeve. It's coming along very nicely. The stitch count is high. It takes forever to get through a row.
Yeah.
But one of the things is each of these, so there's 8 of these wedges that make it up, and I'll get to a point where I just have to finish the top, and it will be just each one. It won't be in the round anymore. It'll just be each one has a little finish at the top. And the person that put this, if it's their pattern, if it is LVN's pattern, I would be shocked. it's scanned from a magazine. It is just, and she has whited out or blurred in the instructions. So there's no indication of where I'm supposed to join for that. And I figured it out. Like, it took me, if you have crocheted something like this before, you can figure it out pretty quickly. But I'm like, if somebody hasn't, they're missing like a huge chunk of instructions that she's just blurred out for no reason that I can think of. Why would you blur out join here? Or join on row.
That's crazy.
36, whatever. Like, dumb. But I figured it out, so no big deal going forward. But, so yeah, I'm getting into the top where this is becoming...
This has become a...
No, it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. And I enjoy the stitch a lot. It is so fun. But it is massive.
It is getting so big.
And okay, so let me see here. Hang on. Let me see if I can count real quick. Okay, so each wedge is 75 to 77 stitches long.
That's big.
Times 8.
That's
so
big,
that's
Lauren.
almost 800 stitches around each time. So it's a big one. It's coming along. I love this. The yarn is from LaRue Crochet or LaRue Cotton on Etsy, and I love it. It's gorgeous. The colors are
really
perfect.
Nice.
The colors are perfect. And now it's going
It's
to go
my
back
wedding
into
colors.
I actually took it. We went up to Pittsburgh yesterday, and my dad drove because we were driving into it, just coming into Pittsburgh towards the airport that I wasn't familiar with. And when he offered, I was like, sure, why not? And so I worked on it as he drove.
Nice.
And it was a nice thing to work on. It's easy enough that you don't have to like kill yourself on it. But I did keep losing my hook in his truck. His truck is too big and has too many crevices.
Too many nooks and crannies.
What do you have today?
I have... So I'll talk about this.
Look at that blue!
So this is a crochet basket that I'm working on. And like any novice beginner crocheter, I decided not to follow a pattern.
I decided, as a novice beginner, I'll do something miniature and make my own pattern for it.
Well, okay. Some backstory to this thing.
Yes.
Okay. I started off following, I started off looking for a pattern, and what I really want to be doing, I can't do because I would have to buy significant materials for it. Because it is a crochet basket where you crochet around the cotton piping that you put in couches around the edges of pillows and stuff. Right. And it makes a really nice basket. So I decided that I'll try to just make my own basket. And I did look at free patterns, but the free patterns were they were all hexagon bottoms, and I wanted a round bottom. Mm-hmm. So then I found, as I was looking for patterns, I found someone who mentioned that there's a formula, like just a formula to follow for a circle thing.
Right.
So then I looked at the formula, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. Like the basic, you make a hex, and you make your hex so big, and then on the even rows, you do your increases in the middle instead of on the points to help round that thing out.
Right.
So I started doing that. And then I got to the end of my row. And do you see this? I don't know, there's a hole here and there's extra stitches here. So I have to go back at least 2 rows.
And figure out what happened.
Because this row would be my second row of increases. Of rounding it out. And so I obviously did something wrong here.
Yeah.
And it's because I'm not following a pattern because I couldn't find a pattern for free that did what I want. And I'm not buying patterns right now because I spent all my knitting budget this month. So I'm trying to just make it happen.
Trying to get there.
And I don't know why I'm like, I need to do this right now. I just need to do it right now. I don't know why. I could have waited till next month. I don't know. Because this is for me. I'm running out of space. So that I have a store-bought rope basket. And I love the rope baskets. I love them.
Right.
They're really great for storing knitting in because they will never snag your thing like a wicker basket will. And so I thought, oh, what if I do like a crochet cotton basket?
Right.
And I could just do a hex bottom. I have pattern for a hex bottom and I could just rip back to the hex thing and be fine. But I wanted a round bottom because apparently I care about something as simple as the shape of the bottom of the basket. The goal is to get to 10 inches here.
Right.
And then start going up the sides.
That'll be a good sized basket when you're done.
It will be. And what has happened is my current basket is, my current basket's big. It's like this big. And it has all my shawls in it. It has become a mound. I have out-knitted my shawl storage. And I have 4 shawls on the needles right now. So I'm gonna need more shawl storage. And I thought I would knit a big old basket.
Yep.
Without a pattern, or crochet. I said knit. I meant crochet a big old basket without a pattern. I don't know. So Lauren is going to maybe help me figure this.
We're going to try. We'll see what we can figure out.
And I'm just using, so I have a cone.
One of those giant cones.
A giant cone of peaches and cream. And I don't know what color this is. It doesn't have the tag.
It's a beautiful blue.
Been in my stash forever. I know, it looked like a perfect basket color. And what I want to do is go halfway up with this color and finish off with white. So it'll have like 3 or 4 inches in the blue and then maybe like 6 inches. I don't know, it's going to be tall. A big, wide, tall basket to hold shawls.
To hold shawls. That's what it's needed for.
Yeah. So, and I might go to 12 inches. 10 might not be big enough.
Yeah, I think you might want the extra.
For the base width. But yeah, I was just playing around with that and then realized I don't know what I'm doing with crochet. But the one thing is I made it this freaking far before I added extra stitches in my join. So, like, when I did the crochet sweater, I was adding stitches on every round.
Adding stitches left and right.
But in this one, I felt like, and maybe because of the size, it was very clear. Mm-hmm. Where, and as soon as I did the slip stitch in my first stitch, I was putting a stitch marker in that join. Mm. And so that was, like, the thing that was like, oh, this is your stitch that you join into.
That definitely helps.
Yeah. Which is something that, I've watched a lot of people crochet things, and nobody has ever told me that.
What, the join is precarious?
The join is where you add the extra stitches, and nobody told me, like, to put a stitch marker in there to, like, maybe mark it. And I thought that was, like, something that maybe some other beginner crocheters are struggling with adding stitches at your join. When you join that first stitch, and then you do, in this pattern, the first single crochet, mark that join stitchy so that it's separate from your single crochet so you don't get all mixed up with next round. Yeah. And that is
because you can accidentally add an extra stitch in that slip stitch.
Yeah, because it's not clear. I don't see it what stitch I need to be going into. I struggle with it. I struggle. So anyway, that's my crochet experience. And I'm doing this with a hook that I probably dropped.
It's okay.
Oh, I'm doing this on a G hook, 4.25 millimeter.
And you're double holding that yarn.
Oh yeah, I am double holding it to get a nice dense.
You want.
And this is gonna be a really there are barely any holes in
there.
No,
you're not getting anything through that.
Is this amigurumi stitch?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. That would totally be what you'd want for that. Maybe not in cotton because there's no give, but
no. Oh, this is so hard on my wrist. It's so like I do one. So this thing is also worked in wedges. So I do a wedge and then I take a break. Do another. Especially now that I'm at 12. I think they're 13 stitches wide, which is not big. But with that double cotton, it is hiya, hiya, hiya. The one time my hook got stuck and I was pulling so hard, I felt my elbow pop. And I'm like, oh, I'm on the verge of hurting myself.
Don't hurt yourself with crochet. Ruth, our friend Ruth, was over not too long ago, and she had been working on a baby blanket, a cotton baby blanket. And
did she knit it?
Yeah, she knitted it. She knitted a cotton baby blanket. And then I was winding up some yarn I had just gotten that was wool. And we were both like, oh, marveling at the give and the flexibility. I'm like, and then like I worked with it and I was like, this feels weird because for some reason I've done a lot of cotton work lately. Like my the rose doily is cotton, and the sum of its parts, which I'm about to show, is cotton. And then I was working with this wool and I was like, it's so flexible. I don't like it. It's going everywhere.
That's hilarious. I didn't realize that you were working all with cotton. I hadn't really thought of it.
Apparently I really like cotton. So I will show this really quick. So this doesn't have a ton of updates on it. This is the sum of its parts pullover by I Need It Crochet. And just pull this giant thing out here. It is coming along very nicely. I have finished up, I can kind of show down here on the one edge. I have finished up my sides.
Oh, you have ribbing.
And yeah, so I finished up my sides. That's a sleeve. There we go. There was like a wedge missing there, and I filled that in nicely and got that to finish up nicely.
And you have
and then ribbing. I have started on the ribbing on the bottom of my...
Oh, started on? How long does it go?
I just started after this one more row of ribbing. So it's not a crazy amount. But it is a slower process. It is.
Well, yeah, because you're doing around the whole body now.
Yeah, I'm doing around the whole body, and it's front and back post. And for whatever reason, every back post is a moment for me of like, get the hook in and then out, like, and the out part does not work for me. So it takes me a second of thought every time.
I'm gonna hold it way back here so people can see. Like,
see, it is really it is sweater shaped. It is,
I think you guys can see that, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I can't see anything.
You can't see anything, but they can totally see.
Yeah.
We do this. And so there will be a little bit of that ribbing around the sleeves, and then the neck just gets cleaned up with a single crochet around the edge to just make it pretty.
How many inches of ribbing do you do? Does the pattern tell you inches?
No, it tells me rows.
Oh.
5 rows of ribbing. Yeah, almost.
So how many rows of ribbing is this?
2.
That's only 2.
Yeah, that's 2.
Oh.
So actually, there's 4 rows of ribbing. Sorry, there's 4 rows of ribbing total. So that's 2 rows, and over here where I've got a little more done, that's 3. And there'll be 1 more on that. So it'll come out to be about.
And then this is basically just ribbed around the sleeves and done.
Ribbed around the sleeves and done.
So do you do anything to the neckline?
There's going to be a single crochet to just clean it up.
Oh, okay.
Just to neaten up that edge. And yeah, so this is very close to being done. I had actually hoped to have this finished. I was hoping to have this a finish here and finish in our floss tube, but it just didn't happen.
It's a lot when you're doing a sweater because you think like, oh, I can just whip this out, and then it's like, no.
Yeah. So it's coming along. I love it. I'm going to be super happy to wear it here soon, and
it is going to be a good fall wear too.
Yeah, it is going to be good. And I'm doing this in Lions Brand's Kobu, which is their cotton bamboo. I think it's bamboo and nylon blend.
So is this a DK weight? Is that what it calls for? Do you think?
Or worse? No, I think it is a DK weight. Let me double check here.
It looks DK to me. I'm not a professional.
Yeah, it's DK weight.
I knew the thing.
And
so is that your last ball of?
That's my last ball.
So when it's gone.
When it's gone, it's gone. But I just got into it to do this ribbing, so I should be fine.
Yeah.
It's
awesome, Lauren.
Coming along, and then I will have my first. No, it'll technically be my second crochet garment because I have my cardigan, which I can totally wear to work. Your cardigan is super cute. Yeah. So that's my updates. Nothing too big, nothing too crazy.
I have one more knitted.
Is this a new start?
New start, yeah, not a whip. So I started another mohair hat. Holy cow, I'm tangled. Alright. And this is pitiful to show, but it's what I've got.
Ooh, love those colors though.
This is, this ribbing is made with just a sample. Like, sometimes when you buy indie dyed yarn, they'll send like a little, like, it's maybe 10 yards. It's a very tiny amount of yarn.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have a few of those because when I ordered from Pandius Jewels, she was sending those with a couple of my orders. And I just have them and I'm like, oh, I should do something with them. But what do I do with them? Because they're so small. Well, so this one, I am doing just a little bit on the brim of this hat. And then I'm going to transition to this tiny bit of scrap. Just to use up every last bit.
This is a scrap hat?
This is a scrap hat. And then I have, this is leftover from the headband, which
yeah.
I don't think I said this yarn, the yarn for the headband. I don't know what I was doing. This is Pandius Jewels. Rose Hips and Teacups is the color.
Ooh, I love that.
And I used this in my Find Your Fade. I have knit one other hat for me. I've knit a headband out of this. And I have this much left over, which I think for the hats that I knit, the mohair hats that I knit in our last episode, I need 30 grams of yarn. Mm-hmm. And this was 20. So that's why I'm adding in the bits of scrap and hoping. Oh, wait. And then I think there's another tiny scrap in here. Yeah. I just switched to this tiny scrap, which is... This is just like the tiniest...
Oh my god.
Little ball of yarn that I am just...
I like the brown speckles in it. It's pink with like brown speckles.
They're all different. Like, these are all leftovers from when I was crocheting the flowers.
Mm-hmm.
For the wedding. And I'm just going to use them up here in this hat because it seemed like it would go. And this hat may be for me because it's so scrappy. I dropped a stitch in mohair. I will need to pick that up because I dropped it on the row before. Whatever, I'll fix that when I get to it. So that is that hat. And then I have another hat I wanted to... This is my next hat whip. So this is an upcoming project. And that that pattern there is sort of, and the one I just showed, is sort of like my vanilla mohair hat pattern. Ugh. Basically, I just cast on the number of stitches that fits my noggin, which is somewhere between 80 and 90. And then I knit to so many inches, and then I do really basic decreases until I have just enough stitches left to cinch it shut.
Yeah.
Like it's not a real published pattern. So it just works.
Formula.
It's my formula, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll just figure out the decreases as they go.
Yeah.
Because I don't make like a neat top on the top or anything because they're just basic. Yeah. And then I have some yarn I was playing with that I have questions on that will be the same. It'll be my hat formula. These are mini skeins. I'm going through the mini skeins that I got in my 2019 advent calendar because I'm trying to... These are my to-go projects. So when I go like out with friends and stuff, I've been taking those little hats, which is why I've had so many hats in our last 2 episodes. I think I've knit more hats this year than I've ever knit in my life. But I was playing with some yarn for my next hat, and I have this color, which is kind of blowing out in the lighting. It's not quite that tealy blue.
It's more of a pistachio color. I really like that.
It's a lot lighter than our lighting is showing. I don't know if sometimes when you hold things in the back that it shows better, but it didn't.
No, our lights are so white and...
Yeah. But anyway, this is called The Gnome, and this yarn is from Direful Yarns. And in 2019, I got her advent calendar, and I've done nothing with it. At one point, I had this grand, glorious plan to do one of those mini skein shawls. And then I decided that I didn't want to knit a shawl with a whole bunch of mini skeins just to use up the mini skeins.
Yeah.
I wanted a better purpose for them. So then I just did nothing with them. So now here I am going through them and kind of coming up with purposes. Yeah. And I'm really excited about these like cute little hats that I've been able to do with them. So this is 20 grams, I believe, of fingering weight. And like I said, I need 30. So I need something to go with it. And I really want it to be pink. So I have 2 options.
Ooh, we have options.
I have options.
Okay. So let's put this in the middle.
Like you're going to hold up that side.
Ooh, that's a difficult one.
It is. And so I'm going to hold this with the bottom brim will be with pink mohair, the same mohair that's in the headband and then the other hat I showed. And then the top heart will be in the teal blue mohair.
Oh.
So I'm going to get like a different effect with it.
Ooh.
So which one of these pinks do I pair?
That's rough, girl.
You pick.
Do I pick?
You pick.
Oh, I pick. Oh, okay. Okay. And you're gonna be putting like a bit of a teal haze on this.
Not on that. That's gonna get pink haze.
Pink haze. Okay, that makes sense.
This is gonna get teal haze.
Okay, I was like, you're gonna be putting teal over this? You're gonna get a really different effect.
No.
Okay, that makes more
sense.
sense.
The bottom, so I'm gonna do the ribbing in pink, and then the whole hat in this. The rest of it. And it'll go with that pink mohair that I just showed.
I have to make decisions now.
I'm putting you on the spot. Help me decide. They're really good pinks. They're just, and the Direful, I love her dye style. She does a really good job with the speckles. Sometimes with the speckling, you can get a lot of pooling in the colors, and I'm not a huge fan of pooled, like when the yarn pulls in like blotchy patches. I don't love that. So I really like how Direful does, because her speckles, like, there's only like 6 stitches together of one color, like all throughout the thingy.
I choose these.
You choose these 2?
Yeah. And this looks more red to me, and I feel like that has more.
This is by the same dyer.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why. This is from that, I bought another.
Aren't you doing, maybe you're not anymore, maybe it's something that's going by the wayside, but weren't you doing like a scarf or something that's supposed to take advantage of pooling in colors?
Oh yeah, that's on the wayside, because that's the one that Jennabelle got, and she drove across the room, pulled out all my stitches, so I have to rip it out and start over, and I just never did it.
Miserable.
Because I was really needing that pattern, because literally a woman gave it to me.
Oh yeah, that's right, at McWalker Yarns?
No, Bedford.
Bedford, that's right.
A Bedford yarn shop. She just gave me this
pattern to try.
And I was gonna try it because she had this really cute scarf on her wall that had the planned pulling, and I do like that. Planned pulling is really cool, but I don't like it when it's like smears. Looks like little smears. That's not appealing to me. But anywho, that project is just
learn, I'm not a yarn.
That project is just off to the side, and just, it is what it is. And that's
I just remembered it. So
of my whips, and that's probably my upcoming hat. So you guys actually got to hear about the upcoming project before it just happened.
Oh, that's amazing.
I am spontaneous and just do whatever I feel like doing.
I feel like sometimes I wonder, I'm like, how are we friends? Because I'm so planned and you are so spontaneous. And I guess opposites attract and we make it work, but like
you're so planned to like literally. What are you doing after podcast? You know, don't you?
I'm gonna go up and work on this sweater for a little while, and then I'm going to cook some supper. And Sarah's off today. We're gonna go grocery shopping, and I'm gonna find slippers. That's in my plans.
All of this. I am going to my dad's house, and that's all I know. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're eating. I don't know anything. Probably gonna shoot some air guns.
Well, that's nice though. But that can be nice. Like if I say I'm going to Devynn's, and like we're just gonna hang out and see what happens, that's different. Because, but like, I couldn't say that about going to my dad's.
No.
Because and you also have so like I have to start a conversation of going to my dad starts with, are we eating or are we going out? If we're eating, what are you cooking? No, give me the full rundown of what you're cooking, because he often does not cook for Sarah.
Yeah.
He's just like, I made ham and lima beans. It's like, Why would you think that that was acceptable? Like, it's not going to happen. She's not going to eat. And then you're going to feel bad that she's not eating. And she's going to feel bad that she even showed up. Like, why do we do this nonsense? Or she's going to eat just a corn. And
come home hungry.
And then it's like, and are we watching a movie? Like, what's going to happen? Because are you just going to put on golf and then we're going to leave? That was the other thing. We listened to golf for 4 hours yesterday because the British Open was happening.
Oh, God. I don't think I'd survive.
In the car. Like, golf would put me to sleep while I was driving.
It's kind of
bag
rough.
of yours.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty funny, though. It was pretty funny.
I have one more thing. This is not a project. This is a very late to show acquisition. You're beautiful. Don't ever change.
Gorgeous.
So I have watched a lot of YouTubers and just people on the social medias.
We technically are.
We are those people. I know. I don't think about us like that.
I know.
We're just like, we're two dorks just like.
We're two podcasters in Lauren's basement.
Recording and yeah, but we are YouTubers. But anyway, I've watched a lot of people who have cute little shawl cuffs. And I've started a tiny collection of shawl cuffs. And I wanted to show these that I found. Now these I've not purchased recently. These are probably from like, I think I got them Mother's Day weekend.
It's okay.
These are leather. So they are real leather. And it's by Lucas Giese.
Yeah, Giese.
Yeah. Leather work, and it's LG Goods.
He's a local leather artist.
He is a local leather artist to us. He sells his wares at High Country Creamery, which is a really, really cool.
I don't know. I've seen his stuff in other places too.
Yeah, I think he has shown it in other places.
There's a shop in town, I think that has it.
These are sold and advertised as leather bracelets.
That's a tiny bracelet.
Well, it's kid size.
Oh, but that's perfect. Then.
But it's the kid size that he makes fits perfectly around a shawl once. This one, I bought this one because I liked the feel. This one is much softer.
Oh yeah.
This one is a very soft leather.
Yeah, it's like a suede leather. Very nice.
And the other one is a harder, very stiff leather. But anyway, they're just.
But this one has a shine to it, so it's different things for different.
Yeah.
What you're looking for.
So
I mean, that's just.
I also wore this shawl to kind of demonstrate these, but they're really cool, and I just love that, like, you know, this person designs these leather bracelets and probably has no idea that I didn't buy them to wear as a little bracelet. I bought for my shawl. And this shawl is a little tight to do 2 rounds on, but I have other shawls that it fits better on. But I wear the snap out, or you could hide the snap, whatever.
Have all the braid show, yeah.
But I love this too, because I wear shawls a lot, and I wear them kind of loose like this, like just a little drape. And when I'm doing stuff, if they're not hooked, when this arm falls down, it falls off of me, and it's a problem. And I've tried shawl pins. I don't like shawl pins. I'm not very good at them. But the cuffs work really well, and I can kind of get through, like, just general moving around.
Yeah, picking up a bag, doing other things.
Yeah, without this, like, flopping around too much. No. Yeah. And it just stays secure, and it's kind of nice.
It's very nice. And then
the smaller size just goes... It does need a certain thickness, because, like, on this shawl, it might not be thick enough up, like, further up here, but, like, down here near the chunk, it would be thick to wear it.
And it keeps your shawl displaying nicely. Like, all this beautiful brioche is right on display. Yeah. It's really nice.
And I'll mention this shawl. I knit this a while ago. This is the Wildflowers and Honey shawl patterned by, and I might be saying her name incorrectly, Mara Lycole. She's on Instagram and Ravelry, and I absolutely love her pattern. She is like sweet romantic style, and that's totally my vibe.
Yes, absolutely.
This was my first brioche project.
Yeah, because you just
Because I just didn't want to do a little small thing. I'm like, let me take on a big, massive, lacy blue shawl.
In every step, Devynn is full force.
Let me try to design my own crochet basket.
Yeah.
Whatever, Lauren. You don't tell me.
I'll tell you, no.
My mistakes tell me.
I think that's everything we've got. Anything else from you?
Nope, that's everything I've got. All my acquisitions, all my progresses. I am hoping next episode to actually have updates on all of my shawls that I have been working on. They should be in the rotation. I just took a little 2-week break to kind of slam out some Christmas gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do one more hat before I kind of say, hey, it's okay. Go back to knitting what you want.
No. You got to get that anxiety out of you.
Yes.
Yeah. New start anxiety is a thing.
I have 2 fully finished Christmas gifts. And I feel really good about that. 3. I have the headband. I forgot about the headband.
Yeah.
Because I kind of decided this morning that I'd give the headband away. But if I decide that I can't, it's my headband and I'll keep it and whatever.
Nobody's making you do anything.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will be back in 2 weeks with more updates and hopefully some finishes and some wonderful stuff like that.
Yes.
If you're working on anything or if you're starting your Christmas gifting, comment down below what kind of things you like to make for that kind of, small giveaway stuff. We'd love to hear about what you're working on.
Yeah, good quick Christmassy patterns would be good to share.
Yeah, absolutely. Other than that, we'll see you next time, guys.
All right. Bye. Guys.